Hello Scorpio, thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the De Lima Tarot, sometimes called the De Lima Tarot. It means will or intent, I believe intention, and it's not Greek. What is the word I want to say? Is it? No, it's not. Oh, my mother had to learn that language. I cannot think about what that... I can't think of the name. There's like this base language. I think that's where that's coming from. It's by Renata Lechner. If you would like this deck, that's how you spell it. That's who is the author or the creator. The supportive oracle cards are the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I can't think of the name of that language. It's driving me crazy. Okay. Seems like we got a pattern today. Like all the water signs seem to have the same pattern for the tarot cards. Let's see what goes on with these. That's it? That's it. Just two, huh? Okay. Now, coming into this energy, you have the Page of Swords, which it's really interesting because when I looked at this card at first, like I don't know if you could see it. There's butterflies up around this guy's head. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to hold it. Those are butterflies. I don't know if you could tell in the viewfinder or in the picture there. I first looked at it and I thought there was holes in the card, and I'm just like looking at this and I'm just like, it feels like things in the past, like there were small changes in the past, but they weren't happening directly to you. I feel like you're hearing about all these little things going on around you, and I don't feel like you were understanding like why it was all happening around you, but it wasn't coming into your frame of reference or your life as well. Because I feel like there's all these little things going on around you. Like maybe people are getting, like somebody's getting a new car, somebody's having a baby, somebody's doing this, somebody's getting a new job, somebody's getting a promotion. Like there's all these little things going on around you. And I feel like the Page of Swords is kind of saying like, you're wondering like, why isn't this happening to you? It's a general read, of course, but like there's things like, if like for example, if you want children and you're hearing about all these other people doing all these things, why isn't this happening for you? Or it's like, this is going well for them, that's going well for them, how come it's not going well for me? Like I feel like all this is going on around you, but it doesn't seem to be hitting in your life. Oh, and you got the Five of Pentacles for where you stand. You're feeling like you're left on the outside of this. Something, it's like, I don't know, like if you're trying to have a baby and other people keep getting pregnant, you can't, or you're like, or like something you want to happen, like you want to get a promotion and it's like everybody else is getting it, but you can't seem to get it, or something like you want a new car, you can't seem to find the one you want, everybody else seems to be finding what they want. Like, I feel like that's the energy you're dealing with. Like, everybody seems to be able to move forward, how come you can't? And you're feeling like you're left out on the outside. Okay, now the interesting thing, what balances off this card on the other side, I'm getting the other side has 10 of Swords. Like, you're seeing what's going right. You're not seeing what's going wrong. That's what I'm getting first off. Because this is a weird... Alright, we'll just keep going, because that's what I'm feeling. You're seeing what's going right. You're not seeing what's going wrong. Because I'm getting there's challenges going on. There's a lot of challenges on the other side, and you're not seeing... I don't feel you connected to it. Like there's an open spot here. But I'm also noticing this is a past influence. People who seemed like they were getting ahead in the past, I don't feel like they're getting ahead now. I feel like it just seemed like it. I feel like this was more lip service. I don't feel like things are really turning out as well as it looked. Because I'm getting, like, you're thinking you're on the outside, but what's actually happening in these little things you're hearing is there's a lot of disappointment. For example, I feel like somebody may have seemed like they were getting a promotion, but they were maybe just applying for it or trying for it. Somebody thought they were going to get a new car, but they were denied the car. Or like somebody thought they were pregnant and it just didn't work out. And I feel like, I hope that's not what's happening here, because I feel bad about that. I hope that's not what's happening. But I'm getting like there's a lot here around you that did not happen the way it looked like it was going to. And I'm getting like you seem to be reconnecting with these people or this situation, and I get the King of Pentacles is kicking in. He's showing you what's actually happening here. The truth is coming in. And I feel like you're feeling more... I feel like you're feeling... I hate when I do that. What I'm getting that you're feeling is you're kind of more grounded and you're seeing the truth of a situation. It looked like this. It turned out to be this. And you're just kind of like, oh, well, I guess I didn't really... You know, I feel like you're having a difference of a perspective here. You're just kind of like, oh, well, I guess that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And I feel like you're kind of like resetting your clock in a sense. You're just like, I don't really feel as much left out now. Especially when people are coming forward. And I feel like you're getting more details about what a situation actually entailed as opposed to what you thought it entailed. Because the King of Pentacles is coming in very solid in the sense of like people are coming around and telling you what's actually going on in their lives. And I don't feel like you are feeling good about it. But you're getting that different perspective, like, well, I guess it wasn't as good as I thought. I guess I'm really not on the outside of that. And I understand, like, this was going on with that person, this was going on with that person. Because I feel like all these people, it seemed like these people had things going on and you just were kind of detached from them for a little while. But when they're all coming back in, the King of Pentacles cementing right in here saying, this is what was actually going on. This is what the truth was. And I'm getting, like, you're reconnecting with these people. And I'm getting like the mermaid, it says the mermaid seduction, but I'm feeling like you're feeling more appreciated. You're feeling more connected as they come back around, and you're realizing why that kind of open spot was going on there, where it seemed like everybody had everything going on, and you were kind of left on the side. You're realizing you weren't left on the side. People were dealing with difficulties. And as you go forward, now this is what's interesting, because I'm getting the king comes back in with some reality. You're feeling that appreciation. You're feeling connected again. I feel like that's the whole thing. You're feeling connected with these people again. And it seems like there's the sun card on the other side. Like, I'm getting like you seem to be making people feel better. Because I'm getting all these things that you thought everybody had going well for them, just it wasn't as good as it looked. It just wasn't as good as it looked. That's what I'm getting. But I'm getting as they come back towards you and you find out what's really happening and you're so happy to be around these people again. These are people you actually care about. I'm getting the reason they have the Sun card is because you have the Nine of Wands. I feel like you're trying to encourage people. Like, all right, you got all these possibilities still. This first one, it didn't go as well as you thought, but you got these other things still waiting here. You still have hope here. I feel like you're trying to pick people up, to be honest with you. I feel like it's maybe a weird interpretation of the Nine of Wands, but I feel like you're just kind of like, look at everything you got going here. I feel like this is what you're saying to this other side. Like, look at everything you got going here. I see this first one didn't turn out exactly as you thought. But you know what? You got all these 8 other challenges, or 8 other chances to go forward. You still have all these possibilities. I'm choking. Does that mean I'm saying something wrong? I'm really choking now. Or as my sister says, if you can still talk, you're not choking. I'm like, thanks. If you can still talk, you're not choking. I'm like, all right. I'm getting... let me just take this by itself, just to be sure I wasn't, coughing on that for a reason. Because I feel like you're building up other people's energy, and you're just pointing out, like, hey... But I feel like you're offering help, too. Like, you're helping people. Wherever you can, if it's just talking, or if it's just doing something, taking somebody somewhere, whatever you can do, I feel like you're stepping in. Like, you need help, I will help you. If there's something I can do, because I feel like you're looking at this, and you're thinking, hey, these people mean a lot to me. I kind of wish it did work out as well as I thought it was. I kind of feel bad that it didn't. But I realized I wasn't on the outside at all. And now I just want to see if there's a way I can help these people pick themselves up and actually achieve what they want. Because I feel like it's almost like the big sibling. Like, you're trying to help out. You're just like, I think I can help them out. I don't want them to feel like they're down and out. And that sun card is popping up on the other side. Like, I feel like you're really lifting people up. Because what's happening between the two of you is the magical spells card. It's a lot like the magician card, except with this one, this is kind of saying there's a little bit more comfort with this than the magician. I'm feeling like with you especially, excuse me, I'm getting you're bringing hope back into the situation. It feels a lot more comfortable. You're actively helping. You're actively not only putting in your effort, but you're working with the other side. It's like a co-creation. It's not like one of you is the one who has the power. You're working together, and that's, I feel like, a big difference with this card as opposed to the magician card. The magician he's in control. He, she, they're in control. Whoever they are, they're in control. They make it happen. With this card, I feel like especially where it's hitting, it's the two sides coming together. It's co-creating. You want these people to succeed. They're feeling a lot stronger because you're really lifting them up. So I feel like this is going forward. Now, I'm seeing this go forward, and I do see two more cards here. The first one I see is the Four of Cups, which is telling me you're doing your best to try to help. You are. But some of these situations, there's really only so much you can do, and I'm getting there will be a level of disappointment. It just seems like there's still going to be a level of disappointment. And I feel you also... Oh, let me take another sip because I'm like... I don't know why we're doing the choking thing lately, but whatever. I don't know, is that like an indication of how rough this is? Because I'm getting like... I'm like questioning it. I'm like, am I saying something I shouldn't? Or am I getting a little too, like, what? Why are we choking? Like, I don't want to, like, as my sister would say, if you can still talk, you're not choking. Why are we doing that? I feel like you're trying not to say something. You're trying not to say something, and that's why I'm choking. You know that this isn't going to work out the way they want it to, but you're trying to be as encouraging as possible. You're giving alternatives. You're giving alternatives. That's lifting these people up. And I'm getting the Four of Cups is like you're helping these people look into these alternatives, but what they really want, they can't have. And I'm getting like you're trying to be as giving as possible with the Six of Pentacles, but ultimately it's up to the other side to decide what they're going to do with it. So let's just recap this really quick because I want to be sure this makes sense. And I'm noticing there's some distance here because in the past, I'm getting again the Page of Swords. I feel like you're hearing a lot of things. It seems like things are going well for other people. It really sounds like things are going really well. And as it goes forward, like you hear this stuff, but then there's this open spot where there's really no connection or nothing going on between you and whoever these people are. Whoever this is, if it's more than one person or it's somebody in particular, you're feeling disconnected either way. You get the Five of Pentacles, you're on the outside, you're just kind of wondering what's going on. You're wondering when when you're going to hear what's going on. You're just kind of, I feel like you're almost holding back. You're not really communicating, but you're feeling like it's not appropriate to, and that's why you're not. While that's happening, that's where the Ten of Swords happens on the other side. It's not going as well as it looked like it was going to go. Okay. They come back around here in the center. The King of Pentacles brings in the reality. They let you know what's actually happening. You thought everything was ducky. You thought everything was great. But when it comes back around, it wasn't so great. Things are not doing as good as they want it to, as well as they need it to. But they're coming back towards you. And I don't want this to come off wrong. I want to make sure this is said right. When the Mermaid Seduction happens above that card, you're happy to see these people again. You're happy that you can help. You're more than willing to help. The Mermaid Seduction, it makes me feel like you want this to be better for them, whoever this is. So you're seeing an opportunity where you can help make them get what they want or help make things better. This is not, like, this is a good card. Like, I just want to make sure that comes across correctly, because you're helping, and you want to help. And that's where that comes in, because this is where you're looking at, there's other possibilities, and you're trying to get them to go towards these other possibilities, these alternatives. And I'm seeing you're pushing those forward. It's lifting them up. I'm still getting that. It's lifting them up. They're seeing hope. They're seeing possibilities. And between you and them, that's where you're doing this co-creator thing with the magical spell card here. Like, what can we make happen? Maybe it can be better. You want to help. You know how much this means to them. You're getting them. You're picking them up. You're picking them up, almost literally. It goes forward, and I feel like all these possibilities that you're trying to point out to them. Like, there's one thing they really want, and I feel like that's hard, because it's like, whatever they... It's almost like, for example... I don't know if I want to use this. Well, I got two different analogies here. One is like if someone's trying to have a baby and they really can't, but you're showing them that they can adopt, and there's other possibilities, that's one. The other one's like if somebody wants a new car, and they really don't have the money to do that, but they can get a really nice used car. They can afford that. But it's like they'll be happy with the other option, but they were so dead set on, like, for example, having their own biological child, or for, like, having that new car, like, they're having a really hard time letting that go. And I feel like you're working with them with the Six of Pentacles, like you're trying to show them options, and how this is how this is still an option, this is a good thing, how this could work out really well. Like, you know, just because it's not wrapped up in the pretty bow that you wanted it, doesn't mean it's still not the best gift you could get. Like, it doesn't make it any less of a great gift. Like, even whether it's your child or biologically or not, it could still be a great gift. And like, or for same thing with the car, if you want to go that route. Even though it's not a new car, this is still a great used car that is really looking beautiful. You can have a lot of joy in this. It doesn't matter that it's not off the lot, brand spanking new. I feel like you're showing this, and you're working with these people, whoever they are, whether it be one person or more than one, and you're really, like, trying to make that point. Like, it doesn't have to be so harshly defined for you to be for you to enjoy that great abundance of joy. It doesn't have to be so harsh. It's this. I feel like this is how you're ending it, because it's not going to be a one conversation. It's going to be a conversation you have multiple times over some time. Because especially if it's like the baby thing or something like that, where they wanted a biological child and it's just not seeming to work out, but adoption is a possibility. I feel like you're constantly giving, like, influences or options. Like, you're showing why it's a good thing, why it can work out. You're showing, like, how it's a good thing, and they can be just as satisfied, it can be just as good. Like, I feel like you constantly have to show this, whatever it may be. Because I feel like this goes on for a while. You're constantly trying to remind them, like, I know it's not going to be, you know, wrapped up in the pretty bow that you wanted it, but it's the gift is still extremely valuable. Okay. I think they have to get on board with it, whatever it is. And once they're on board with it, I feel like they start actually giving it serious thought. I feel like they get invested, then they get excited, and they're seeing it. I feel like they're seeing it, but it takes a while. All right. I think we made sense of that. I'm going to let that be there. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, and I'll send you my rates. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.